BoardGameSwede here, and we're still playing Eldritch Horror. So last time we ended up with Norman getting hunted by something, and we closed the gate and got rid of a few monsters. Or wait, it's not Norman that got hunted. It's actually Akashi, so never mind. I did that wrong in the last part, but I will surely edit in some text to tell you. So we will start with round 4. We have Mark Harrigan. He will travel one step here, use his ticket, so he will end up in Sydney, just one space away from the TikTok men. Then he will try his influence, try to buy something from the reserve. Hopefully the carbon rifle, maybe. We got one success, so if we gain a debt condition, we can get that carbon rifle. I think we will, actually. So we will find a debt condition. Here we go. Another debt to another character. But along with the debt, we also got the carbine rifle, which is awesome. Especially for Mark, since he has such high base strength value already. And that was his turn. So now we have Patrice. Yeah, she will prepare to travel, and she will end up in Tokyo. And then we have Akashi, who's in Tunguska, she wants to defeat that cultist and close the gate, maybe. So what can she do? Can't do much, actually. I guess she will focus once. That's about all she can do. No point to doing anything else. Not this turn anyway. So, yep, that's her turn. Then we have Norman. I think he will move this time. So he will prepare to travel, then move down to this clue, because we still have to solve the mystery, as you all probably remember. That's the goal of the game, so why not? Then we will have the encounters. So Mark Harrigan is now in Sydney. In a game of cards, the stakes are raised and you bet a prized possession. You watch the other players carefully for any tells. Test observation -1, so only one die. So it's win or lose right here. Boom, it's a 6. Thank God. If you pass, call a bluff. Gain 1 random weapon asset from the deck. So we gain another weapon, so now he's full of them all of a sudden. Oh, right, I forgot to refill this too. So we will see what weapon he will get. So he actually got the 45 automatic, which gives him +3 during combat encounters. So now he's all stacked and loaded to defeat just about anything. Then we have Patrice in Tokyo. She will try to close the gate. This time she ends up in Yuggoth. You discover a fetid creature with wings and webbed feet. The beast is strange, like something from your wildest dreams. You may spend 1 clue to resolve the pass effect. If you do not spend the clue, resolve the fail effect. Unfortunately, she has no clue. Literally. So we will do the fail effect. The creature is terrifying, but you can keep your calm. But if you can keep your calm, you will be able to overpower it. Test will. So she has 4 will, so 4 dice. At least we have a pretty good shot at this. And we have 2 successes here, so no problem. Let's see what happens. If you pass, you subdue the creature and use it to return home. Close this gate. Awesome. So she closed the gate. It's return here. And her ability triggers when you close the gate during an otherworld encounter. Gain 1 clue and 1 focus. Awesome. 1 clue and 1 focus. Great. So now we have Akashi against the cultist. Oops. So first she has to fight it. It has 1 toughness and you only do the will check, so we have 4 dice. Here we go. And no successes. So why not? We'll use 1 focus, see if we can change anything. Let's roll 1 die. She still failed. We might as well. It's not worth it. It's just 1 sanity, so we will lose 1 sanity. And then it says, after resolving the will test, lose 1 health and defeat the monster. So she loses 1 health, and the cultist is defeated. So he's returned to the monster bag. Yep. And then we do, should we do the otherworld encounter or should we do the clue? Now we'll do the clue first. There's no rush with the gate. I don't think so. So we'll do the research encounter, and she's in the wilderness. Let's see here. In your dream, you're dragged down a spiraling vortex to the center of chaos. Amorphous creatures dance to monotonous piping, encircling a being of absolute horror. Test will. So she has 4 will. And we got no success. So I think she will use her 2nd focus here. Try to be better about this. Yes, now we succeed. If you pass, gain this clue. And that's all that happens. So we will put this clue here on the mystery. Great. Thank God for focus. Then we have Norman, who is also on a research encounter. So maybe we will solve the first mystery this turn. Who knows? He's in a city, so you find a safe house used by the Shan, but you don't see any signs of their alien technology. Test observation. So he has 3 observation. We will roll 3 dice. And 2 successes. If you pass, you find the secret panel leading to their laboratory. Gain this clue. Awesome. So we put this clue on the mystery, and we will actually solve it this turn. Woohoo! 1/3 of the way. 1/3 of the way, baby! And then we will draw the Mythos card. And it's another rumor, which is no good. So we will spawn 2 clues. One at number 8, which is over here. and one at number 5, which is up here. So at least they're all together. So the Crawling Chaos. You have heard reports of a stranger traveling alone to the most remote and mysterious parts of the world. He speaks of ancient times in many lands, and those he speaks to go mad. When this card enters play, spawn the Crawling Chaos epic monster on the active expedition space. When it is defeated, solve this rumor. So, when the reckoning happens, advance doom by 1 unless investigators as a group spend clues equal to half investigators. If investigators do not spend the clues, discard the top card of the expedition deck and move the Crawling Chaos epic monster to the active expedition space. So now we have 2 annoying rumors, one really tough one and one that we can hopefully solve next turn. At least something. So let me just find the epic monster here. Here we go. We have the Crawling Chaos, which I guess is Nyarlathotep, I guess. She has toughness equal to investigators +2, so 6 toughness. When you do a will test, -1, and you have to get at least 3 successes to not take any sanity damage. And then a strength test, and you have to get at least 2 successes not to take any stamina damage or stamina loss. So that thing is on the expedition. And that's the turn. So now we solve this mystery. So 1 mystery gone. So we will draw a new mystery card. And this one says the true name. Fragments of Azathoth's true name exist in long forgotten tomes. It is said that if a person speaks his name aloud 3 times, the blasphemous sound will grant the speaker great power. When this card enters play, place a number of Eldritch tokens equal to half investigators each on a random space. Okay. As an encounter, an investigator on a space containing an Eldritch token may attempt to find information about Azathoth's true name. He may spend 2 clues to place that Eldritch token on this card. At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens on this card equal to half investigators, solve the mystery. So that's a giant pain. So we will spawn 2 random Eldritch tokens somewhere. These 2. Let's draw any clues, see where they end up. We have one on space number 4, which is up here in proximity of Norman. And then we have a second one. No, it's not on this board, so it can't be that one. Here on the Amazon. Again. Everything ends up on the Amazon. Okay. So let's do the next turn. We will start with Mark. He will yeah. Or maybe he should just, yeah, well, he'll rest to regain 1 stamina and 1 sanity. So now he's at max. Again, he will move towards the TikTok man, and that's his turn. Then we have Patrice in Tokyo. Don't know what she will do. I guess she will prepare to travel and move to Tunguska. So she will take care of that gate instead of Akashi. So it's Akashi's turn. And she will move here to space 19, and when she moves she gets to roll a die. On a 5 or 6 we discard that pursuit, and it's a 6, so we discard the hunted condition. Great. And then she will focus. So 1 focus. Then we have Norman, who will prepare to travel and end up here on space 5, which I guess is Chicago or something. And then we will have the encounter phase. So first Mark, he will battle these TikTok men. No wheel check. We will do. He will use his carbine rifle. Gain +5. So now we have 9, but it has -2. So he will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. And we have to succeed with 6 of them to actually defeat the monster this turn, which will probably be really hard. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. God damn it. We just could have gotten 1 more. Look at this. Well, at least it takes 3 or 5 points of damage, and it only has 1 health left. And no other encounters for Mark, since he failed to defeat the monster. Then we have Patrice, and she is in another world again. This time the underworld. You find yourself surrounded by ghouls, however they don't seem to be antagonistic towards you. In fact, you believe you could persuade them to help you. Test influence. So 3 dice, thanks to the improved influence. And we got 1 success. So, the ghouls direct you to the Tower of Koth in the city of the Gugs. As you ascend the tower stairs, an enormous Gug chases after you. The sound of the monstrosity rattles your nerves. Test will. She has 4 will. And 1 success, thank you. See here, 1, 5. If you pass, close this gate. Thank you. So the Tunguskan gate is closed. She gains 1 focus and 1 clue. Great. Pleased with that. So now we have Akashi. She's in the generic wilderness. So she will draw the generic card. Wilderness. According to your map, you can make a detour to visit a lake purported to have restorative powers. You may become delayed to recover 3 sanity or discard a madness condition, which she has none of those things she needs, so nothing happens. And then we have Norman, who will do a research encounter in a city. So you track worshippers of Tulcha to an abandoned warehouse and observe their ritual. But the cultists notice you and attack. A cultist monster ambushes you. Okay. So you will have to do a will test, and he has 4 will. We succeed with 2 dice, so no sanity damage. If you pass the will test, or actually we lose one stamina though, because The monster is defeated, but you lose 1 sanity. So, if you pass the will test, you dedicate the ritual to memory, gain this clue. Great. So now he's gotten 2 clues, which he can use to maybe send that Eldritch token to the mystery card. That was it, and we will draw the next Mythos card. We have, first the Omen will move, so any red gates on the board? Huh, there are no gates on the board actually. Great, so no doom thing happens. And then we have reckoning effects. This thing does nothing. The monsters do nothing. We will remove 1 Eldritch token more from this rumor, so there's only 1 Eldritch token left. And this says advanced doom by 1 unless investigators as a group spend clues equal to half investigators. So I guess we will use these 2 clues. And they're gone. What happens then? Okay, so nothing else happens. Great. And then we have conditions. Mark here has a debt condition he will do something about. Your creditors seem almost forgiving when you tell them you cannot pay your dues. They beg you not to worry, but their kind expressions change as you eat the meal they've offered you. Gain a poison condition, then discard this card. So he was stupid enough to eat food that someone he owed money gave to him. So he got poison condition. Patrice is fine, so is Akashi, and Norman Withers will test his will to see if something happens with his amnesia. So no success actually, so okay. This amnesia thing triggers forgotten crimes. Okay, so the camera died just as I started to read this card, so I will try to do this quickly. You don't want to believe it's true, but the evidence is irrefutable. At some point that you no longer recall, you went on a crime spree. Now you must accompany the police, gain a detained condition, then discard this card. So that's no good at all, because I wanted to move to that Eldritch space. Next turn, maybe I still can though. Still a bit annoying. Detained. And here it says, you cannot move or perform actions other than the action on this card. Instead of resolving an encounter, flip this card. Local action, test influence. If you pass, discard this card. Okay, and then we spawn a gate. And it spawns in Istanbul. We have to spawn a monster. And it's a buy a key. And haunting nightmares. You wake up in mid-scream and your heart is racing. What little you can remember of your nightmare was so visceral and horrific that you dread falling back asleep. Event. Each investigator loses 2 sanity and gains a madness condition unless he spends a clue. That's no good at all. So Mark Harrigan loses 2 sanity, so he only has 2 left. And he gains a madness condition. And the first madness condition I find is he gets a hunger condition. And then we have Patrice. I guess she will use this clue, so nothing happens to her. And Akashi loses 2 sanity and gains a madness condition, and her madness condition is hallucinations. Norman will keep both of his clues, so he loses 2 sanity. And he gains a madness, which is paranoia. And that's the end of the Mythos phase. And that will also be the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy. And I will see you in the next part. Have a good one.